You know, there is nothing that is more obvious than the control that public employee labor unions have in the state of California. They are, I mean, there is no entity that can stop something positive from moving through the California legislature. There is no group, no constituency, I don't care who they are, that have the level of power that public employee labor unions have. And the saddest part about it is that there is an inherent conflict of interest with their even being able to play a role in the political process. Think about this. Think about it. You could decide, you could choose your boss. You had the ability to hire and fire your boss. Imagine if you could sit down at both sides of the bargaining table. Well, that's what public employee unions have. I sit on a school board. I've run for school board. And I will tell you, the funny part is the only people who have a significant direct financial interest in making sure, in who gets elected to the school board, guess what? It's the teachers unions. So they support candidates and they wind up sitting on both sides of the table. Even in good Republican districts, they wind up, once again, supporting candidates. You still have unions oftentimes running some of those boards. This is a severe conflict of interest, whether it's at the city council, county board of supervisors, even at the state level where the state legislature votes on contracts. We have to address this issue of conflict of interest. They have a direct financial interest in who gets elected, in who will be voting on their contracts that affect their benefits, and that affects their salaries. Now, it's important for us to understand that, you know, first of all, get away from the idea that a public employee union, or for example, Peace Officers Union is not a public safety organization. It is a union. California Teachers Association is not an education advocacy group. It is a union, and their job is to improve working conditions and benefits and pay for their membership. So how do we address that? Now, by the way, they're very good at that. So how do we address this conflict of interest? Number one, the Citizen Power campaign. We need to make sure we get this initiative through. It will not be corporate America that will get it through, because corporate America already wimped out once before when it came to paycheck protection or making it so that employees making unions have to ask their membership before they took money out of their checks for politics. So that's the first thing. We need to make sure that passes. We need to end the conflict of interest by introducing legislation that will end that conflict of interest. You will not be able to contribute money to someone who's going to be voting on your contract. The next thing that we need to do is we need to work with these unions within those unions. You have friends who are members of the teachers unions, who are members of SEIU, who are members of the peace officers. We need to be active in working with them, because right now their money, their hard-earned money, is being used to fight against what they believe in. We need to work with them to help them to take their unions back. That's how we can be effective. It's important for us to understand that, you know, unions served a place at one time in this country in order to protect workers, to protect children, and protect workers' rights. But we're at a point right now where too often public employee unions are, the deal used to be that, you know, you go to work for the state, we'll give you a little bit more security, we'll provide you a little bit additional benefits when you retire, oftentimes in exchange for longevity of service, and for, quite frankly, oftentimes accepting a little bit less in pay. Today, public employee unions, they get it all. They get the increased salaries. They get the high salaries. They get the big wages. They get the huge retirements that we can't afford. Folks, right now we are facing a cataclysmic impact of unfunded pension mandates and healthcare mandates that people who, by the way, were elected by public employee labor unions, put in office through public union dollars, have approved. We have got to put an end to the madness. We have got to put an end to this madness. That's the only way we're going to take back California.